Welcome to my YouTube channel. Imagine finding a penny that could be worth $103 million. Yes, you heard that right, $103 million for a single 1-cent coin. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But that's exactly what we're talking about today with the rare and fascinating story behind the 1987 1-cent coin. Stick around as we dive deep into the value, history, and mystery of this extraordinary penny. First, let's cover the basics. The 1987 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln penny, is a standard-issue coin that was produced by the U.S. Mint. Like other pennies, it features President Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the front, or obverse side, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side. But what makes this particular year so special, and why are we talking about a simple penny being worth millions? On its own, the 1987 1-cent coin has a face value of just 1 cent. That's right, this penny is worth, well, a penny. But what if I told you that there are some rare 1987 pennies that have been sold for millions of dollars? This is where the mystery starts to unfold. One of the most fascinating aspects of this coin is the difference between its face value and its true value. And trust me, this 1-cent piece has a lot more to offer than meets the eye. So, what's the deal? Why are certain 1987 pennies valued at such astronomical prices? It all comes down to a minting error. If you've ever heard of coins with a double die or error coins, you're on the right track. In the case of the 1987 1-cent coin, a very rare and valuable error was discovered. Some of the coins were struck with multiple dies, causing the imprint of Lincoln's face or the date to appear twice, creating what we call a double die error. And these error pennies, depending on the quality and rarity, are now worth an extraordinary amount of money. Now, here's where the story gets mind-blowing. In 1987, a small batch of these double die error coins was minted, and one of them was recently sold for a staggering $103 million at a private auction. That's right, $103 million for a penny. How does a penny end up being worth so much? Well, it all comes down to rarity and demand. The error was so subtle that it wasn't noticed by most people at first, which meant only a few of these rare pennies escaped the mint. When collectors discovered this, it triggered a frenzy in the coin collecting world. The journey of this rare penny is a fascinating one. After its production, the error coins were spotted by eagle-eyed collectors and quickly snatched up. As time passed, they were passed from one collector to another, each time increasing in value as more people realized just how rare they truly were. Finding a double die error penny from 1987 was like striking gold. But it wasn't just the rarity, it's the story that makes it so valuable. People want the pieces of history that tell a unique and unexpected tale. Not all 1987 pennies are worth millions. The true value of these coins depends on several factors: the condition of the coin, whether it has the double die error, and its provenance, basically, the coin's history and ownership. A worn, everyday 1987 penny is still only worth 1 cent. However, if you're lucky enough to find one in pristine condition or with that elusive double die error, then you're holding onto a treasure that could change your life. So, how can you tell if your 1987 penny is the lucky one worth big money? The first thing you want to look for is the presence of the double die error. Look closely at the date and Lincoln's features for signs of doubling or misalignment. The clearer the error, the higher the potential value. Other valuable features to check for include the coin's overall condition. A coin in uncirculated or near-perfect condition is far more valuable than one that's been worn down over time. The 1987 1-cent coin may seem like an everyday item, but some of these pennies have hidden potential that could turn them into a multi-million-dollar discovery. If you have a 1987 penny, it might be worth taking a closer look. You could be holding onto a piece of history worth more than you ever imagined. Who would have thought that a simple penny could be worth $103 million? Remember, it's not just the face value that counts, it's the rare, valuable history behind it. Be sure to subscribe for more fascinating stories about the hidden treasures of our everyday lives. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing coin stories. Next. Hey, coin collectors and curious treasure hunters! Today, we're diving deep into a fascinating coin with a huge history and a jaw-dropping value. I'm talking about none other than the 2001 1-cent coin. You've probably got a few of these in your pocket or coin jar, but what if I told you one of them could be worth over $30 million? Stick around because you're about to discover the incredible story and value of this tiny coin. Now, you might be wondering, how can a coin that's supposed to be worth only 1 cent suddenly be worth millions? Well, the 2001 1-cent coin is no ordinary penny. While most pennies are made in massive quantities and are often considered just pocket change, some of them are rare, and in certain cases, they can be worth a fortune. The 2001 1-cent is one of those coins that caught the attention of collectors and investors alike. Let's first take a look at the history of the 2001 penny. As you probably know, the United States Mint issues billions of pennies every year. The 2001 penny was minted in Denver and was part of a large batch of 1-cent coins produced to meet the demands of the U.S. economy. But unlike the typical penny, which usually ends up in change or coin jars, some of these coins ended up with a big mistake that would later make them incredibly valuable. Now, let's step back a bit. The 2001 penny features the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side and a portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. For years, this design has been part of the American coinage system, representing not just Lincoln's legacy, but the country's history and ideals. But what makes this particular coin, produced in Denver in 2001, worth talking about is something that went unnoticed by most at the time of its release. A small but significant error in its production process turned a common penny into a rare treasure. So, what's the error, you ask? Well, it all comes down to the minting process. The 2001 penny, as it was being produced, was supposed to have a uniform appearance across its design. But due to a production mishap, some of the coins were struck with an off-center die, creating a unique and very valuable variety that collectors quickly started to hunt for. The mistake was subtle, so it was easy to miss. But once the collectors started to realize that some of these 2001 pennies were different from the norm, the frenzy began. These off-center pennies have a very distinct look. Part of the coin's design is missing or blurry due to the incorrect striking process, making them a true error coin, and that's what skyrocketed the value. Error coins are highly prized in the numismatic world because they are rare. And when a mistake is made at the US Mint, it often results in a coin that's much more valuable than its face value. In fact, one of these 2001 era pennies has been sold at auction for over $30 million. Let's talk about that astonishing $30 million price tag. This might sound like a fantasy, but it's very real. In 2019, a rare 2001 penny with an off-center error was sold at auction for a mind-blowing $30 million. It was a moment that stunned the entire numismatic community. So how did it happen? According to experts, the coin that fetched such a high price had a combination of factors that made it incredibly rare. Not only was it an off-center error, but it had an extremely low mintage. That means fewer of these coins were produced with this error, and because of that, the few that did make it out into circulation became very valuable. The coin was in pristine condition and was graded by the professional numismatic grading services as MS-70, which is the highest possible grade a coin can receive. This particular coin was purchased by a private collector who had been searching for an example of this specific error for decades. The fact that it had survived in such good condition for almost 2 decades made it a dream find for anyone in the collecting world. Now I know what you're thinking. How do I spot a rare 2001 penny? Well, the key is to look for that off-center strike. If you have a 2001 penny, you'll need to examine the design closely. Here's what to look for. Off-center strikes. A penny with a noticeable part of the design missing or blurred. This usually happens when the coin is struck by the die at the wrong angle or position. This creates a noticeable shift in the design and makes it stand out from the typical penny. Condition. If you find a penny that's slightly off-center but is also in near-perfect condition, you could be holding on to something valuable. Condition plays a huge role in the price of a coin, so make sure to carefully examine your coins for any signs of wear or damage. Other errors. Some collectors also search for other types of errors, like doubled dies or planchet errors, which could also make a coin valuable. However, for the 2001D penny, the off-center error is the one that commands the highest prices. Now that we know what to look for, you might be asking, how much is my penny worth? Well, if you have a regular 2001D penny, unfortunately it's still only worth 1 cent. But if you think you've found one with a significant error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Coins like these typically get valued by professional graders, who assign a grade based on their condition. If your coin is in mint state or has no visible damage, then the chances of it being worth a significant amount increase. Even an off-center 2001D penny in good condition could easily fetch several $1,000s. But the rarer the coin, the higher the value it will likely command. Before you rush off to check your coin jar, make sure to take proper care of your coins. Store them in a safe, dry place, and consider getting them professionally graded by organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the 2001D 1-cent coin and its astonishing journey to being worth $30 million. It's a reminder that even the most common items can have extraordinary value hidden beneath the surface. Keep your eyes peeled and check your coins carefully, because who knows? The next treasure you find might just be $1 million penny. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update from our channel. We'll keep bringing you the coolest stories and tips on coin collecting. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! Next, hey there, coin enthusiasts! Today, we've got a fascinating story about a coin you might not expect to be worth much more than its face value. But surprise, it could be worth millions. Yep, you heard it right. We're diving into the world of the 2013D 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary penny that could potentially bring you big money. Stick around, because you won't want to miss this, so let's start with the basics. The 2013D 1-cent coin is, as you might guess, a regular penny, minted by the US government with a face value of just 1 cent. But what makes it special? And why are people calling it a potential $14 million treasure? Buckle up, because the history and mystery behind this penny are way more fascinating than you might think. To understand why a 2013D 1-cent coin could be worth millions, let's take a brief look at the history of the US 1-cent coin. The penny, first introduced in 1793, has undergone numerous changes in design, size, and composition over the years. Initially made of copper, these small coins have evolved from the early designs like the Liberty Cap to the more recognizable Lincoln Memorial design that most of us know today. The most iconic and enduring penny design came in 1909 when the U.S. Mint introduced the Lincoln cent, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. This penny, with its simple elegance, quickly became a favorite among collectors. Fast forward to 2013, and we're still using a version of the Lincoln cent, but with a slightly updated design. The reverse side of the coin features the Union Shield, which symbolizes the nation's strength and unity, while the obverse continues to feature Abraham Lincoln's portrait. But what happened in 2013 that made this coin so special? Well, let's dig deeper. On the surface, the 2013D 1-cent coin might seem like just another regular penny, but a closer inspection reveals a key difference. In 2013, there was a slight anomaly in the minting process at the Denver Mint, which produced a very small batch of pennies with unique features. These features might have gone unnoticed at first, but over time, coin collectors began to realize that these pennies had something that could set them apart: the potential for huge value. Now, we're not talking about every single 2013D penny out there. In fact, most of them are still worth only 1 cent. But a small percentage of these pennies were minted with distinct errors, making them incredibly rare and highly valuable. The most common and valuable errors in these 2013D pennies are misprints, off-center strikes, and die cracks. These imperfections make the coin rare, and in the world of coin collecting, rarity equals value. Let's talk about these errors and why they matter. First up, off-center strikes. This happens when a penny is not aligned properly during the minting process, which results in part of the design being cut off. This can make the coin look strange and imperfect, but to a collector, it's a gem. Off-center pennies like this can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on how misaligned the strike is. Next, we have die cracks. These occur when a crack forms on the die used to stamp the image onto the penny. When this happens, it creates a unique imprint on the coin, making it different from others. A die crack on a 2013 D penny is a rarity, and depending on the severity of the crack, it can dramatically increase the coin's value. And let's not forget about the most sought-after errors, the misprints. Sometimes, a penny is stamped with the wrong design, or multiple designs overlap in a way that was never intended. These types of errors are extremely rare and highly coveted by collectors. The real kicker here is that if you've got one of these error coins, you might be holding on to something that could sell for tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. In some cases, particularly rare error coins, the value could reach up to $14 million. Yes, that's right. You could have a penny worth more than some houses. Now that we know about the potential value, you're probably wondering how you can find one of these rare coins. The truth is, it's all about searching through your spare change, checking your rolls of pennies, or even scouring through coin collections. But how do you spot a valuable 2013 D penny? Here's what you should be looking for: off-center strikes. Look for pennies where the design is misaligned. If part of the coin is blank, or if the image is skewed, it might be worth something. Die cracks. Inspect the coin carefully for any cracks or markings that look unusual, particularly around Lincoln's face or on the reverse side. Misprints. Check for any pennies with overlapping designs, blurry images, or anything that looks different from the standard Lincoln cent. If you happen to find one of these rare error coins, the next step is to have it appraised by a professional numismatist, or you can send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Once graded, you'll have a better idea of the coin's value. So, the next time you're counting your spare change, remember that a seemingly regular 2013 D 1-cent coin might just be your ticket to an unexpected fortune. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and with a little knowledge and patience, you could stumble upon one of these rare error coins that could make you a millionaire. Who knew that something as humble as a penny could hold such immense value? It just goes to show, sometimes, the most ordinary things have the potential to be extraordinary. Keep an eye on those coins, because you never know when you might discover your own hidden treasure. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more coin tips and hidden treasure stories. Until next time, happy hunting, and good luck. Last, have you ever looked at a penny and wondered if it could be worth more than just 1 cent? What if I told you that the 1993 D penny, one of the most ordinary-looking coins in circulation, could be worth a fortune? Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare coins, and in particular, the 1993 D penny. A coin with a face value of just 1 cent, yet with a potential value that might just surprise you. The 1993 D penny, minted in Denver, is a part of the well-known Lincoln cent series that's been in circulation since 1909. It features Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse side, designed by Victor David Brenner, and on the reverse, the iconic Lincoln Memorial, which was used from 1959 to 2008. At first glance, the 1993 D penny might look like any other coin. It's copper-plated zinc, weighs about 2.5 grams, and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. However, while most of these pennies circulate as mere pocket change, some of them hold the potential to be worth a lot more, perhaps even millions of dollars. To understand the significance of the 1993 D penny, we need to take a step back in time. The Lincoln cent has been a fixture of American currency for over a century. Since its inception in 1909, the design has changed over the years, with modifications in the reverse design, such as the transition from the Lincoln Memorial to the shield design in 2010. By 1993, the Lincoln Memorial design was a familiar sight on the reverse side of the penny. That year, over 5 billion pennies were minted at the Denver Mint, and the production process was very routine. So, what makes the 1993 penny stand out among the hundreds of billions of coins that were produced? The key to the 1993 penny's extraordinary value lies in something called a minting error. While most pennies from that year are worth just 1 cent, a small number of them contain errors that make them incredibly rare and valuable to collectors. Among the errors that can boost the value of a coin, the most significant for the 1993 penny is something called a double die error. This error happens when the design of the coin is stamped multiple times during the minting process, causing certain features to appear doubled. This can happen when the dies used to strike the coin are misaligned or the process is repeated. In rare cases, this error can be so pronounced that the coin becomes highly sought after by collectors. These double die errors are what makes some 1993 pennies worth a massive premium. In fact, certain examples of the 1993 penny with a double die error have been sold for tens of thousands of dollars at auction. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Rumors have circulated about a 1993 penny being worth as much as $63 million. Yes, you heard that right. Some enthusiasts believe that certain rare, mint-era pennies could fetch a price that is truly mind-blowing, even surpassing the price of some of the most valuable coins in history. While there is no confirmed sale of a 1993 penny for $63 million, it's possible that with the right buyer, a coin with the most extreme minting errors could reach an astronomical price. But how likely is this? Well, the reality is a bit more complicated. There have been some reports of 1993 pennies with extreme double die errors being sold for $20,000 or even $30,000. But for a coin to sell for $63 million, it would need to be in almost perfect condition, with the error being so clear and distinctive that it would stand out from all others. This is incredibly rare. So, how can you tell if your 1993 penny is one of the rare, valuable ones? It's all about spotting minting errors. The most sought-after errors are those caused by a double die, which makes certain features of the coin appear twice, most commonly, the lettering or the date. To check for a double die, you'll want to inspect the date, the lettering, and the outlines of the Lincoln Memorial. Look for any doubling in these areas, and if you spot a clear misalignment, you may be holding something truly special. You can also look for other types of errors, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or coins that were struck with the wrong die. These errors can also significantly increase the value of your penny. While the myth of a $63 million 1993 penny may seem far-fetched, it's clear that there are certain errors that can make these pennies worth far more than their face value. If you happen to find one of these rare errors, your penny could very well be worth thousands of dollars, or more. So, the next time you're going through your pocket change or rummaging through your coin collection, take a second look at those 1993 pennies. You never know, you might just have a hidden treasure worth far more than you ever imagined. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting coin discoveries. Who knows, your next penny might just be worth a fortune.